Did you know there is a group mentioned in the Quran that people have feared for centuries, a nation so massive that when they are finally released near the day of judgment, the entire world will feel their presence? In this video, we are talking about the story of Yajuj and Majuj in Surah Kahf, and the ruler who built the barrier that is keeping them contained until the time Allah has decided. To understand this story properly, we first need to know about Dhul Qarnayn, because he is the powerful ruler who built the wall against Yajuj and Majuj. The Quran describes him as a king whom Allah gave authority, knowledge, and resources. He was not just powerful but also just and God-fearing. Whenever he made decisions, he reminded people that his success came from Allah. Scholars say his title, Dhul Qarnayn, means the one who reached two extremes of the earth, meaning he traveled widely across lands and ruled different regions. The Quran focuses on his character more than his exact identity. That is why many scholars say the lesson matters more than guessing who he was in history. Allah mentions Dhul Qarnayn in Surah Kahf when people asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about him. Then Allah revealed that Dhul Qarnayn was given the means to achieve great things, and he traveled through lands establishing justice. Wherever he went, he judged fairly. Wrongdoers were punished and good people were treated kindly. This shows he was not an oppressive ruler but a responsible one. Now comes the part connected to Yajuj and Majuj. During one of his journeys, Dhul Qarnayn reached a region between two mountains. The people there were struggling to communicate with him, but they managed to explain their situation. They told him that Yajuj and Majuj were spreading, meaning corruption and destruction on earth. These people were terrified because Yajuj and Majuj would invade their lands, ruin things, and cause chaos. Now, who exactly are Yajuj and Majuj? In Islam, they are human tribes from the descendants of Adam. They are not monsters or aliens. However, what makes them frightening is their huge numbers and destructive behavior. Many Islamic scholars, including those who wrote tafsir like Ibn Kathir, explain that they are nations that spread corruption and chaos. The Quran itself highlights their corruption rather than describing their appearance. But hadith give us more detail. The Prophet Muhammad said that near the day of judgment, Allah will release Yajuj and Majuj, and they will descend from every elevation of the earth in massive numbers. They will spread across lands very quickly. Some narrations mention how numerous they are. One hadith says that when Allah tells Prophet Adam to send people to hell, most of them will be from Yajuj and Majuj, because their population is extremely large. Another narration describes their impact. When they pass by large lakes, the first groups drink the water and later groups come and say there used to be water here. This shows just how huge their numbers will be. Now, is something many people don't know. Right now, according to Islamic belief, Yajuj and Majuj are behind the barrier built by Dhul Qarnayn. There is a famous hadith that says every day they try to dig through the wall. When they almost break it, they say they will finish tomorrow, but they forget to say Insha'Allah. So the wall becomes strong again. One day when Allah wills, and they say Insha'Allah, they will finally break through. So what exactly did Dhul Qarnayn build? When the people asked him to build protection, he refused payment but asked them to help with manpower. Then he constructed a massive barrier between two mountains. He used huge pieces of iron, placed layer by layer until the gap was filled. After that, fire was blown onto the iron until it became extremely hot and molten copper was poured over it. This created a very strong structure that Yajuj and Majuj could neither climb nor break. The Quran says after completing it, Dhul Qarnayn said, "This is a mercy from my Lord." But he also, thing important, he said, when the promise of my Lord comes, this barrier will be destroyed. This refers to the time near the day of judgment. And this is where the story becomes even more serious. According to authentic hadith, Yajuj and Majuj will be released after Prophet Isa returns to earth. They will spread destruction everywhere. People will not be able to fight them because of their overwhelming numbers. Prophet Isa and the believers will take shelter while Allah eventually destroys Yajuj and Majuj through a disease sent to them. After that, the earth will be cleansed again. So the story of Yajuj and Majuj is not history. It is also about a future event that will happen before Qiyamah. And that is why Surah Kahf reminds us that power, protection, and even massive barriers exist only by the will of Allah. If you want more detailed stories from the Quran explained clearly and accurately, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video.